Hello. Welcome to day one of Intuitive Eating Talks. This is my show. Just kidding, not really. Maybe it should be a show. We are going to talk about intuitive eating. If you have not purchased this book, you should. I'm an intuitive eating coach, and I'm also an empowerment coach, food and body coach, insert thing. I can do it for you. One of the really big things that's important to me is food and body image and food and body freedom with women. And it is because I've had my own experiences with that. And so I thought that day one, it would be really important to share that with you. So rewind 20 years-ish. What am I, 42? Yeah, okay, we'll rewind 20 years. And I am, in my late teens or early 20s. And the most important thing to me is my body and my relationship with food. And it wasn't a good one. I had experienced sexual trauma in college, and I came from a rigid religion, and I was a people pleaser and a perfectionist, and I wanted to control something in my life. And so what I decided would be the easiest thing to control would be my body and the food that went into my body. And I used that hyper focus to numb and avoid feelings and emotions that were difficult. And I used food to numb, push down, and avoid emotions that were difficult. So even like overwhelm or anxiety or things that we might experience every day was way too much. And I would do things like binge on something. So I wanted to like push down those emotions. I didn't want to feel them. And then I would either hyper focus on what a bad person I was because I had done that. I was out of control. I couldn't believe that I had done that. I'm going to gain weight. No one's going to love me. I'm unworthy, blah, blah, blah. Or I would decide I would purge that food, and I would try and get rid of those emotions and get rid of all that uncomfortableness. And then I would have feelings of unworthiness because that's disgusting. That's horrible. Why are you doing that? That's so awful. You're out of control. Okay. So same outcome, but just different ways of handling it, right? There's also this hyper focus on your body with like exercise and perfectionism and what weight you want to be. And that's also a way to avoid those uncomfortable emotions. Whatever you're hyper focusing on is another way to not focus on or to avoid the emotions that your body wants to feel. So that was something that I was very deeply, deeply entrenched in. Now, it came from rigidity, trauma, my personality, all of that. And I think as women, so many of us have experienced sexual trauma, and a lot of us use food and body obsession, for lack of a better word, to deal with that. We want to feel like we're worthy. We want to control something in our lives because we feel out of control. We feel like we can't handle those emotions. They're too intense. So maybe if we use food, drugs, whatever, food as our drug, then it feels better. It feels like relief. Okay, so what happened? So I struggled with an eating disorder for a decade of my life. But even before and after that, I was having disordered eating. So my disorder lasted for a decade, but the messed up eating that I maintained happened before and after that. So I was counting my macros. I was on every single diet that you could possibly imagine. Name the diet. I have done the diet. Name the exercise program. I have done it. I have been a runner. I've been a weightlifter. I've been a dancer, whatever cardio, actually, because typically like it's a way that we can sort of avoid and we're trying to maintain our weight. Like name cardio thing, I've done it. And if that sounds familiar to you, then you and I are on the same page because I have been there. I've been there. The number one thing I would talk to my friends about was, what diet are you on? What are you eating? Oh my God, I can't believe I ate that. Oh my God, what are you going to eat? Oh my God, and I did this. Oh, this diet's really working. I need to drink more water. I need to drink less water. I need to eat less carbs. Oh, I'm not having any sugar. I'm not having any fat. Oh, but good fats. Oh my God, so much, right? And I know that sounds familiar to you. I know it does because I overhear your conversations because I was there. I was having the same conversations. If your conversations with your friends and your mom or your kids or whatever, your husband is centered around food, then I know you. I know you because I used to be that. So as I began to heal, I had to heal on the inside and on the outside because a diet or any kind of exercise routine is not going to do anything. It's going to put a Band-Aid on a bullet wound. It is going to, it's going to just push pause in your healing because you're going to go right back to where you were. How many times has your diet failed? How many times? Every time, right? Guess what? It's not you. It's not about you. It's about the diet. Diets don't work. I'm not sure if you're aware, but the number one predictor of weight gain is a diet, right? It's true. You go on a diet, you mess up your metabolism, things get bad, man. And then we just keep doing it over and over and over again because we gain the weight back. Okay, so you know what I'm talking about. I've been there. Finally, I was done. And a lot of us have to get to this point where we're like, you know what? I can't do this anymore. I have done this for so long. I just can't do it anymore. There has to be something else. And sometimes we even say like, I don't even care. I don't care anymore. As long as I can be present with my family, as long as I can stop obsessing about food, I don't even care. Right? Where it's that point where we're willing to try something completely different, then we start to heal. So if I can go from eating less than 1,000 calories a day to eating close to 3,000 calories a day and have the body that I love and that is the right one for me, that I feel vibrant and amazing in, you can do it too. I used to think, oh, it's just me. Like I see these other people, they eat what they want. They go to restaurants, they order tacos. Like that's nice for them. I can never do that. I'm going to have to order the side salad, please, with a fat-free dressing on the side. That was my life. If that sounds familiar, you know what I'm talking about. Like, okay, that is not you. That is your belief. And you can change it. You can change your belief and you can change the outcome. If I can do it, then anyone can do it. So what happened? What happened is I was sick of it. I couldn't do it anymore. It had been so long, so much heartache, so much misery that I was thinking there has to be something else. There has to be another way. This can't be it. I cannot live my whole life like this. And I wanted to be present for my kids and I wanted to have other relationships besides food. And what I mean by that is like, that's the number one thing I thought about. If I went somewhere, it was, well, what food is it going to be there? Can I eat there? Should I bring my own dressing in my purse? I don't want to go there. I don't want to eat there. It was all about food. And that's how I coped with my emotions. I knew needed to be something different in my life. And so I consciously decided to switch my confirmation bias. And if you don't know what confirmation bias means, it is when we have a belief, then we look for things to confirm that belief. And we ignore anything else that doesn't fit or align with that belief. So my belief was, I'm not worthy, I'm out of control. I gain weight no matter what I do. I can't eat bread. I can't eat carbs. I can't eat sugar. I can't eat fat. That was my belief. And everything that happened to me confirmed that belief. So as I started to do that inner work and I was like, I've got to do something different. I have to start healing these old wounds. I have to start feeling worthy at whatever cost. I also had to take risks on what I ate and little by little change that confirmation. And that was tough. It was so difficult to trust myself. But that is what it takes. It takes trust in yourself. So as that started to happen and I started to heal on the inside, things started to change and I started to take a risk on myself and trust. And that's where intuitive eating started to play a big part in my life. And I started to discover this idea of intuitive eating, implement it, and it changed everything for me. So let's pause here because I want to let you know and I want to talk about what intuitive eating is and what it isn't, because sometimes I have people say to me, so I can just like eat whatever I want, whenever I want, however much of it I want. That sounds great, but I don't think that's going to work. I'm going to gain weight. I'm going to blah, 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 blah. Okay, well, first of all, we have to implement the 3 parts of our brain. We have to implement the intuitive part of our brain, the reptilian part of our brain. We have to implement the limbic system, which is our feelings, and the neocortex, which is the integration of both of those things, so our thoughts and cognition and all of that happen. Okay? So we have to start learning and listening to our bodies. So if I wanted to eat a bag of Snickers Fun Size because I had the impulse to do that and it felt like a good idea for my palate, then I need to also integrate the other parts of me that says like, okay, I know what that feels like. I've done it before. Does that make me feel good? No. It's uncomfortable, actually. Does my body like when I do that? No, actually it doesn't. Is that a good choice for me? No. Okay, what is a good choice for me? What is my body really asking for? What is it asking for? What is it telling me that I need? Those are the things that intuitive eating incorporates, okay? So we get to learn about our intuition. We also get to learn about our feelings and how that's related to food, and our thoughts and cognition and all of that and how it's related to food. And once we get to that point and we're healing our insides at the same time, it's this beautiful, beautiful unfolding of ease and trust and health, because that's what we ultimately want. We want this overall health. Are you going to have to reject the diet culture? Yeah, you are. Are you going to have to say no to the diet police? Yes, you are going to have to do that. Are you going to have to learn about how it feels to be satisfied in your body? Yes. Are you going to have to learn how to trust what your body's telling you? Yes. Are you going to have to take a risk on yourself? Yes. Are you going to have to heal all of those inside wounds that are causing all of this in the first place? Yeah. You're going to have to do that. And are you going to have to learn about joyful movement? Yeah, you're going to have to do that too. You're going to get to have all like this beautiful, full, total integrative health, where you're not ever on a diet ever again, where you love your body and it loves you back, where you feel full and healthy and you're living your highest and best potential and you're allowing your body to do the same. So that's what intuitive eating is. Can you get there? Yes. If I can get there, then you can get there. Does it take sometimes this feeling of like, you know what? I'm done. Like, I'm done with diets now. I just want to be healthy. I just want to be present for my kids. I just want to be free from this. It might take that, but I'm telling you, and 25 studies on intuitive eating is telling you, and their studies are underway now as we speak as well, that it works. The number one indicator of weight gain is dieting. That's the number one indicator of weight gain is dieting. So will intuitive eating work for you? Yes. Is it going to be different than anything you've ever tried before? Yes. Is it worth it? Oh my gosh. Yes, it's worth it. So what I want to hear from you is I want to hear what your experience is with dieting. What's your experience with all of the things that I've shared with you? Is it the same for you? What do you talk about with your friends? Do you talk about diets? Are you super focused on your body and your weight and your food, especially during this time? I hear about the COVID-19. What's happening for you? Do you feel out of control with your food? Do you feel like you can't manage what's happening? Do you feel like you have to restrict all the time? Do you feel like you can't eat a normal meal because you're gonna go out of control? Or do you feel like you have to remove all chocolate from your house? Do you feel like, tell me these things. I wanna know, I want your feedback. So we're going to conclude day 1, and I cannot wait to talk to you tomorrow. And I love you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for showing up. Please let me know, DM your questions. If you want to talk to me privately, that's great too. I love you. And I'm just grateful. I'm grateful for this time. I'm grateful that you guys have shown up and listened. Okay. Have a beautiful day. Mwah.